11 foods you're storing wrong. Get to 7 will surprise you. Old age health. Think your fridge is keeping your food fresh and safe? What if I told you that some of the most common foods in your fridge, foods you probably eat every single week, are actually losing their nutrients, flavor, and could even become harmful when stored cold? This isn't just a myth. It's backed by science and real-life experience, and it becomes even more important as we age, when digestion slows down and our bodies rely more on nutrient-rich, properly stored food. In today's video, we're uncovering 11 everyday foods you should never store in the refrigerator, and more importantly, the right way to store them to keep their taste, nutrients, and your health intact. Number 1. Potato. Have you ever wondered why something as simple and familiar as potatoes could become harmful to your health if stored incorrectly? Many people tend to keep potatoes in the refrigerator, thinking it helps them last longer. But the truth is, storing potatoes in the fridge might silently turn them into a health risk, especially for those of us aged 35 and above. When potatoes are stored in cold temperatures like those in a refrigerator, the starch in them begins to convert into sugar at a faster rate. While that might not sound too serious, there's a hidden danger waiting when you cook those potatoes, especially through frying, roasting, or baking at high temperatures. The sugars in the potatoes can react with an amino acid called asparagine to form a chemical called acrylamide. This compound, according to multiple scientific studies, has been linked to nerve damage and is considered a potential cancer risk when consumed in high amounts over time. Surprised? It's hard to believe that a seemingly healthy food like homemade fries or roasted potatoes could contain harmful substances, all because of a simple storage mistake. And at our age, we know that the body doesn't recover as quickly as it used to. Every little choice we make about what goes into our body matters more now than ever. Health isn't just about today, it's about laying the foundation for a stronger tomorrow. So, what's the right way to store potatoes to preserve their nutrients and avoid health risks? The answer is surprisingly simple, yet often overlooked. Keep them in a cool, dark, dry, and well-ventilated place, like a breathable basket in a shaded corner of your kitchen. Also, keep them away from onions, as the gases released by onions can cause potatoes to sprout faster, which is another health concern. If you're in your midlife or beyond, you know how precious health is. It's something that no amount of money or time can truly replace once it starts to decline. Making small changes in daily habits, like how we store food, is one of the most powerful forms of self-care. Do you believe that a small effort today can protect your well-being tomorrow? Sometimes it's the little things, like a simple adjustment in your kitchen, that can spark a bigger shift toward a healthier lifestyle. Are you ready to make that shift today? Are you ready to turn your kitchen into a sanctuary of wellness, starting with something as humble as a potato? If you found this information helpful, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join our growing community. We're here to share practical life advice and health tips tailored for those of us who value experience, wisdom, and well-being. Let's age with strength and knowledge together. Number 2, tomato. Have you ever noticed how store-bought tomatoes often look beautiful but taste bland and watery? There's a good reason for that, and if you're like many people, you might be unknowingly making the same mistake at home. Storing your tomatoes in the refrigerator. It seems logical, right? We tend to think the fridge keeps things fresh, but in the case of tomatoes, refrigeration can actually ruin them. You see, tomatoes are meant to ripen naturally at room temperature. When you place them in the cold environment of a refrigerator, that natural ripening process is halted, and with it goes the sweet, full-bodied flavor that makes tomatoes so delicious. In fact, chilling tomatoes can cause their texture to become mealy and their taste dull. So instead of enhancing their shelf life, the cold ends up stripping away the very essence that makes a tomato worth eating. Doesn't it make you wonder how many other small habits like this are quietly affecting the quality of the food you eat every day? And especially for those of us in our midlife or senior years, shouldn't we be making every meal count? Your body deserves real nourishment, and flavor matters, not just for enjoyment, but because richer flavor often means richer nutrients too. So what's the best way to treat your tomatoes right? The answer is refreshingly simple. Store them on your kitchen counter, ideally in a single layer, with the stem side down. This position helps preserve moisture and slow spoilage. Only when the tomatoes are fully ripe, and you need to extend their life by a couple of days, should you pop them into the fridge. But let them return to room temperature before eating to reclaim some of that lost flavor. Doesn't that sound easy enough to try today? Imagine the difference it could make in your next salad or sauce. And think about it. Small, mindful changes like this can become stepping stones to a healthier, more aware lifestyle. One where every bite is a choice that supports your well-being. So are you ready to rescue your tomatoes and rediscover their true taste? Your health and your taste buds will thank you. If you enjoyed this tip and want more practical advice that helps you eat better, feel better, and live wiser every day, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We're building a thoughtful community of people who believe that growing older means growing smarter. Come join us. You're exactly where you need to be. Number 3, onion. Have you ever opened your refrigerator and noticed a strange smell lingering, even when everything looks fresh? Chances are, it might be coming from a common kitchen staple, onions. While it might seem like a good idea to keep onions in the fridge to make them last longer, the truth is, refrigeration does more harm than good when it comes to storing this flavorful vegetable. Cold, moist environments like the refrigerator cause onions to become soft, damp, and prone to mold. Not only does this compromise their texture and taste, but it also makes them spoil faster instead of preserving them. And there's another issue. Onions have a strong, pungent aroma that doesn't stay in one place. When refrigerated, their smell can easily seep into nearby foods, especially dairy products or leftovers, changing their taste and freshness without you even realizing it. Have you ever wondered why your butter or fruits start to carry a faint onion scent? That's exactly why onions and refrigerators don't mix well. So what's the right way to store them? It's actually much simpler than most people think. Keep your onions in a dry, cool, well-ventilated place, like a pantry or a basket on your kitchen counter. And here's a small but important tip. Don't store them near potatoes. While they might look good side by side in a rustic basket, potatoes release moisture and gases that can cause onions to spoil more quickly. Isn't it interesting how small details like these can make a big difference in food quality and safety? Especially for those of us in the 35 to 70 age range. Paying attention to these everyday habits can lead to better health and a more enjoyable experience in the kitchen. After all, the food we prepare and consume becomes part of us. It nourishes not only our bodies but also our memories and moments shared with loved ones. So ask yourself, are the small things in your kitchen helping your well-being or quietly working against it? And if the answer surprises you, maybe it's time for a few simple shifts. Start by treating your onions with the care they deserve. They've earned their place as a flavorful hero in countless dishes, and they'll thank you for keeping them in the right environment. If you found this insight helpful and want to keep learning how to make smarter choices in the kitchen that protect your health and enhance your meals, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're here to support mindful living, one practical tip at a time. Let's make every day healthier, tastier, and wiser together. Number 4, garlic. Have you ever pulled a bulb of garlic out of the fridge only to find it sprouting, turning mushy, or losing its signature aroma? If so, you're not alone. Many people store garlic in the refrigerator thinking it will stay fresh longer, but this common habit actually does the opposite. Refrigeration creates a cold, humid environment that encourages garlic to sprout and develop mold, while stripping it of the intense, rich flavor that makes it such a powerful ingredient in cooking. Once garlic begins to sprout, not only does its taste become bitter, but its nutritional value may also decline. And over time, it can even develop compounds that are less than ideal for health. So here's the question. Could this one small habit be quietly affecting the quality of your meals and even your long-term well-being? As we move through our 30s, 40s, 50s, and beyond, our bodies become more sensitive, and the little things we do, like how we store food, start to matter more. Health is no longer something we take for granted. It's something we build day by day through small, intentional choices. As Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, once wisely said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." This reminds us that even the way we handle something as simple as garlic plays a role in our greater health journey. So what's the best way to store garlic and preserve all of its natural benefits? The answer is refreshingly simple. Keep garlic in a dry, well-ventilated area at room temperature. A mesh bag, a small open basket, or even a paper bag with air holes will do the job perfectly. The goal is to avoid moisture and keep the air flowing. And here's a handy tip. Don't store garlic near the stove or in the steamy areas like above the sink, where heat and humidity can speed up spoilage. When stored properly, garlic can retain its flavor and beneficial compounds for weeks or even months. Isn't it amazing how just a little awareness can make a big difference? As Benjamin Franklin once said, "An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure." For those of us in midlife and beyond, this rings especially true. Caring for your health doesn't have to mean drastic changes. It starts with the little things. Every smart choice you make in your daily life adds up. Whether it's how you eat, how you move, or how you store a simple bulb of garlic. So let me ask you, have you been storing garlic the right way? And if not, are you ready to make this small shift that could lead to bigger, better habits over time? It's never too late to start taking care of your body and your kitchen with a bit more mindfulness. If this tip helped you rethink your kitchen habits, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community. We're here to share down-to-earth, practical advice to help you eat better, feel better, and live with greater wisdom every single day. Let's grow stronger together, one smart step at a time. Number 5, avocado. Have you ever taken a bite of an avocado only to be disappointed by its rubbery texture and lack of flavor? It's frustrating, especially when you've been looking forward to that creamy, buttery taste that makes avocados so special. But often the problem isn't the fruit itself, it's how we store it. One of the most common mistakes people make is putting unripe avocados in the refrigerator. When exposed to cold temperatures too early, the ripening process of the avocado comes to a halt. As a result, the fruit not only fails to soften properly, but also loses much of its flavor and natural richness. What you end up with is a bland, underripe avocado that never quite reaches its full potential. As we enter our 40s, 50s, and beyond, we begin to realize that the small choices we make every day, like how we store our food, can have a big impact on our health and the quality of our lives. As author George Bernard Shaw once said, "There is no love sincerer than the love of food." And when you love your food, you learn to care about where it comes from, how it's prepared, and yes, even how it's stored. For avocados, the best approach is surprisingly simple. Let them ripen naturally at room temperature. Place them in a basket on your kitchen counter, and if you want to speed up the process, store them next to bananas, which release natural ethylene gas that helps fruit ripen faster. Only once your avocado is ripe, soft to the touch and ready to eat, should you consider placing it in the fridge. And even then, just for a day or two, to keep it fresh until you're ready to enjoy it. Have you ever stopped to wonder how a tiny shift like this could make your meals more enjoyable and your nutrition more effective? At this stage in life, it's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. And giving your avocado time to ripen properly is one of those small, mindful choices that says a lot about how you care for yourself and your loved ones. Let's not strip away the flavor and nutrients from one of nature's healthiest fruits just because we're in a rush. Avocados are full of heart-healthy fats, fiber, and brain-boosting nutrients, things that matter even more as we age. So today, why not take a quick look at your kitchen? Is there an unripe avocado sitting in the fridge that should be back on the counter? Are you ready to enjoy avocados the way they were meant to be, ripe, creamy, and full of flavor? If this tip helped you and you want more easy, meaningful advice to help you eat smarter, live healthier, and age with intention, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're here to support your journey with simple, practical wisdom for everyday living. Let's grow stronger and wiser together. Number 6. Banana. Have you ever placed a bunch of bananas in the refrigerator, hoping they'd stay fresh longer, only to find them turning brown almost overnight? On the outside, they look overripe, dark, spotty, and unappetizing. But when you peel them open, the inside is still green, hard, and far from the sweet ripeness you were expecting. This confusion isn't uncommon. The cold environment of the refrigerator interferes with the natural ripening process of bananas. While the skin darkens due to the cold, the fruit inside stops ripening, resulting in a mismatch between appearance and taste. It's a classic example of how, sometimes in life, what we see on the outside doesn't reflect what's happening on the inside. A small but powerful reminder as we grow older and reflect on what truly matters. If you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, or even 70s, you already know that taking care of your health isn't about expensive diets or complicated routines. It's about making small, informed choices each day. And one of those choices is learning how to treat your food with respect. Bananas are a great source of potassium, fiber, and natural energy. They support heart health, aid digestion, and are especially helpful for those of us who want to maintain strength and vitality as we age. But to fully benefit from their nutrition and natural sweetness, we need to store them correctly. The best way to preserve bananas is to let them ripen at room temperature in a well-ventilated space. A banana hanger or open basket on the kitchen counter works perfectly. Keep them away from direct sunlight and avoid stacking them tightly to prevent bruising. And what about overripe bananas? If they're getting too soft and you're not ready to eat them yet, here's a helpful tip. Peel them and place them in the freezer. Frozen bananas are perfect for smoothies, baking, or even a natural sweet treat. Isn't it amazing how one simple adjustment in your kitchen can open the door to so many healthy possibilities? As Maya Angelou once said, do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better. Knowing how to handle everyday foods like bananas might seem trivial, but it's these tiny decisions that build up over time and support a longer, more vibrant life. Food is not just fuel, it's a relationship. The way we handle it, store it, and appreciate it reflects how we care for ourselves and those we love. So let me ask you this. Have you been storing your bananas the right way? Are there simple habits in your daily life that you're ready to rethink, not just to avoid waste, but to live more mindfully? The beauty of this journey is that it doesn't require perfection, only intention. Number 7, whole melon. Have you ever brought home a fresh, juicy melon, maybe a cantaloupe or watermelon, popped it into the fridge right away, and then later found it bland, less sweet, and just not as satisfying as you'd hoped? If so, you're not alone. Many people make the mistake of refrigerating whole melons too soon, without realizing that doing so can actually rob them of their natural sweetness and even reduce their antioxidant levels. Yes, that's right. The cold temperature of a refrigerator slows down the natural ripening process of melons and interferes with the development of their full flavor and nutritional potential. Antioxidants, those powerful compounds that help your body fight aging and disease, are significantly lower in melons that have been chilled before they have had the chance to fully ripen at room temperature. At this stage in life, whether you're in your late 30s or well into your 60s or 70s, your health and well-being are more than just a priority. They are a reflection of the choices you make every day. And believe it or not, how and when you refrigerate your produce is one of those choices. Melons in particular are rich in hydration, vitamins, and antioxidants that support heart health, skin vitality, and digestion. But to truly benefit from these gifts of nature, we have to respect their natural rhythm. The best approach? Leave whole melons at room temperature until they're fully ripe. Only after cutting them should you place the leftover slices in the refrigerator to maintain freshness. As Aristotle once said, quality is not an act, it is a habit. Choosing to let your melon ripen naturally may seem like a small decision, but it's part of a greater habit, one of mindful, health-conscious living. These kinds of small but meaningful actions, when repeated daily, create the foundation for a long, vibrant, and fulfilling life. Isn't that what we're all working toward? So let me ask you, the next time you come home with a whole melon, will you pause and think twice before placing it in the fridge? Will you give it the time it needs to fully develop its sweetness and health benefits? After all, it's not just about taste, it's about making choices that serve your body and your life in the best way possible. If you found this insight helpful and want to continue learning simple, science-backed tips that help you live better, age gracefully, and enjoy food the way nature intended, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Together, we're building a community that believes in living wisely, one smart, mindful habit at a time. Number 8. Bread. Have you ever noticed how quickly a loaf of bread becomes dry and hard after sitting in the refrigerator? It's one of those things that many of us do without thinking, assuming it will help the bread last longer. But in reality, refrigeration often does the opposite. Cold temperatures cause the starch molecules in bread to crystallize faster, leading to that dry, tough texture we all try to avoid. This isn't about spoilage, it's about quality. Bread stored in the fridge doesn't mold as quickly, but it loses its soft, fresh feel and comforting flavor, which, let's be honest, is part of what makes bread such a timeless staple in our lives. Especially for those of us in our 40s, 50s, or 60s, when simple pleasures matter more and thoughtful living becomes a daily practice. Knowing how to store bread the right way is a small yet meaningful part of taking care of ourselves and our homes. As the great Leonardo da Vinci once said, "Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication." And sometimes the simplest choices, like how you store your bread, are the ones that bring the most value to your life. So what's the best way to keep bread fresh without sacrificing texture and taste? It's easier than you might think. Store your bread in a dry, cool area, ideally in a bread box or a paper bag that allows a bit of air circulation. Avoid sealing it in plastic unless you're freezing it, because that can trap moisture and lead to mold. If you know you won't finish the loaf within a few days, the best solution is to slice and freeze it. That way, you can toast or warm up just what you need when you need it, preserving both freshness and convenience. Isn't it empowering to know that such a simple tweak can make your daily meals more enjoyable and less wasteful? Now let me ask you this. How many loaves of bread have you unknowingly ruined in the fridge just because no one ever told you otherwise? And more importantly, what else in our daily routines might we be doing out of habit, without realizing the better path is right in front of us? That's the beauty of mindful living. It's not about overhauling your life overnight, but about learning, adjusting, and growing, one habit at a time. Bread might seem like a small detail, but it reflects a bigger lesson. When we take care of the little things, the bigger picture begins to take care of itself. Number 9. Honey. Have you ever opened a jar of honey from the refrigerator only to find it thickened, grainy, or even hard as a rock? You might have thought, has it gone bad? The answer is no. Honey doesn't spoil easily, but the cold temperature of the refrigerator causes honey to crystallize, which changes both its texture and flavor. That beautiful, smooth, golden liquid becomes gritty and dull, losing its signature aroma and richness. And here's the truth. Honey is one of those few foods that truly does not need refrigeration. In fact, it's been found in ancient tombs, still perfectly edible after thousands of years. So why do we keep putting it in the fridge? Sometimes we're so used to refrigerating everything that we forget to ask whether we really should. It's a small question, but it leads to a much bigger realization. How many of our daily choices are made from habit, not wisdom? At this stage in life, when we've experienced enough to value the little things, and when we understand that true well-being starts with awareness, it's empowering to know that even something as simple as where you store your honey matters. As Albert Einstein once said, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, so is a lot of ignorance. The more we understand how nature works, the more we can live in harmony with it. And honey, being one of nature's most perfect gifts, deserves a little more attention. To keep honey at its best, store it in a cool, dark place, like a pantry shelf, and make sure the lid is tightly sealed to keep out moisture. Never refrigerate it. If it does crystallize, don't worry. Gently warm the jar in a bowl of warm water, and it will return to its original, smooth form. No microwave, no boiling, just warmth and patience. Much like the way life teaches us to handle most things. Honey isn't just food, it's medicine. It soothes sore throats, boosts immunity, supports digestion, and adds natural sweetness without the crash of refined sugar. But more than that, it reminds us that not everything needs to be rushed or forced. Like honey, some things are best left at their natural pace, in their natural state. And maybe, just maybe, that's a lesson we can apply beyond the kitchen. So I ask you, have you been storing your honey the right way? Have you been unknowingly losing its goodness by treating it like something perishable when it's actually one of the most durable, self-preserving substances on Earth? Isn't it fascinating how such a small detail can reflect such a big truth about life and health? Number 10, olive oil. Have you ever reached for your bottle of olive oil in the fridge, only to find it cloudy, thickened, or even partially solidified? You might have been puzzled, or worse, thought it had gone bad. But the truth is, refrigerating olive oil can change its texture, alter its color, and even reduce its quality over time. When stored in cold temperatures, olive oil begins to crystallize and lose the smooth, rich consistency that makes it one of the most prized ingredients in kitchens around the world. More importantly, this practice can also compromise its nutritional properties and delicate flavor profile, especially the antioxidants and healthy fats that make olive oil such a powerful ally in supporting heart health, reducing inflammation, and promoting longevity. It's no wonder that olive oil has been a cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, a lifestyle widely praised for its contributions to a long, vibrant life. So let me ask you, how often do we unintentionally sabotage the very foods we rely on for wellness, just because we follow habits that no one ever really questioned? As we grow older, we begin to understand that health isn't just built on medication or strict rules. It's cultivated through daily mindfulness. Olive oil, when stored with care, becomes more than just a cooking ingredient. It becomes a symbol of intentional living. The best way to preserve its integrity is to store it in a cool, dark place, away from direct sunlight and heat sources. Choose a dark glass bottle or a stainless steel container to shield it from light, which can cause oxidation and rancidity. And if you've been storing your olive oil on the kitchen counter near the stove, today might be the perfect moment to rethink that habit. As the ancient Greek physician Hippocrates once said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food." That wisdom rings truer than ever when we consider how even the smallest storage decision can impact the healing potential of what we consume. Olive oil is not just food, it's a reflection of culture, history, and the art of self-care. Its golden hue and silky texture remind us that nature offers powerful gifts, but only if we know how to honor them. Isn't it fascinating how one simple bottle can carry centuries of knowledge and offer such incredible benefits when treated with respect? So I invite you to look at your pantry today. Where is your olive oil stored? Are you preserving its life-enhancing qualities or letting the fridge slowly strip them away? This isn't just about a kitchen tip. It's a reminder that the small things, when done right, can lead to lasting health and joy. If you found this insight valuable and want more practical, down-to-earth wisdom on how to care for your body, your food, and your everyday habits with greater intention, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We're building a thoughtful space for those who believe that growing older doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting smarter, living better, and cherishing every small choice. Let's keep learning, living, and aging with wisdom together. Number 11, coffee. Don't keep it in the fridge. If you love the original taste. For many of us, coffee isn't just a beverage, it's a ritual. It's that quiet, comforting moment in the morning when the world is still, and the aroma of a fresh brew awakens not only the body, but the soul. But if you're storing your coffee in the refrigerator in hopes of keeping it fresh, you might unknowingly be killing the very flavor you love most. Whether whole bean or ground, coffee is incredibly sensitive to moisture and odors. And your refrigerator, filled with everything from onions to leftover fish and pungent cheeses, is a minefield of smells. Coffee acts like a sponge, quietly absorbing these odors, which then show up in your cup as off notes that dull its natural richness. Even worse, The moisture inside the fridge can encourage hidden mold growth and rob your coffee of that crisp, toasty fragrance it's meant to have. So let me ask you, have you ever wondered why your coffee at home doesn't quite taste like the one from your favorite cafe, even though you use high-quality beans? At this point in life, when we've come to appreciate the small pleasures more deeply, each cup of coffee should be a moment of joy, not disappointment. And like many things in life, preserving its beauty starts with respect and understanding. The best way to store your coffee? Keep it in an airtight glass or ceramic container, tucked away in a cool, dark, dry cabinet, far from your stovetop or any moisture. If you've bought pre-ground coffee, only open a small portion at a time, enough to use within a week or two. The rest can be frozen if necessary, but never stored in the fridge where temperature swings and humidity can quickly degrade quality. And here's a secret shared by true coffee lovers. If you're using whole beans, grind them fresh just before brewing. That's when the aroma really bursts to life. Rich, complex, and nostalgic. Like the kind of coffee your mother might have brewed on a quiet Sunday morning. The warmth, the depth, the emotion. It's all there in that first sip. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "The reward of a thing well done is having done it." And there's a quiet reward in treating your coffee, something so simple, yet so meaningful, with the care it deserves. When you stop rushing, stop refrigerating out of habit, and instead begin to handle your coffee with intention, you'll find yourself savoring more than just flavor. You'll be honoring a moment. So I invite you to ask yourself, is your coffee truly bringing you joy, or is it falling short because of a simple storage mistake? Are you ready to reclaim the full-bodied flavor and rich aroma that made you fall in love with coffee in the first place? Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.